Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Tanisha's Reading Corner podcast. I am your host, Tanisha. Tanisha's Reading podcast is dedicated to anyone who desires to make reading a daily habit as a form of self-care. To stay updated when a new podcast is uploaded, please subscribe to the channel. In addition, you can find me on Instagram at Tanisha's Reading Corner for many book recommendations and tips and tricks on how to keep reading a daily habit. Let's dive into today's episode. Happy Friday, everyone. Yay, we made it to another Friday, the first Friday in May. So, again, as always, welcome back to the podcast in this Reading Corner. Please, before we begin, subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast. And so this is what I like to call one of our bonus episodes, in case you're not familiar with, where I give you a challenge to do. On Monday, the challenge was to read a different book of a different genre than what you're typically used to reading. So in case you like to read romance novels, pick up maybe a thriller or mystery or horror. That type of thing, to get your mind out of what you're typically used to and try something different. So that was Monday's challenge. So for this weekend challenge, it's going to be a bit more destinational, if you will. This weekend, I want you to do, as part of your weekend book challenge, go to a library. Go onto the Google your nearest library near you, and go to the library. Now, you can just go there, check out the books on display, check out a book. If you don't have a library card, get a library card. Our libraries are our most underutilized resources as a book lovers. We tend to go to bookstores and purchase books, but in case you have on a limited budget, just go to the library, check out a book, and then once you're done reading it, you can return it. There you go. But if you really like the book, then by all means purchase it. But if you didn't care for it, then just return it. And you don't have to worry about getting your money back and refunding for books you didn't like. That is your weekend book challenge. In the car. And on that note, I thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Tanisha's Reading Corner podcast. Thank you for coming back. And this season, we're going to dive more into some audiobooks, but also into biographies, autobiographies. This season, also, we're talking more about tips and tricks, as always, keeping reading a daily habit. So stay tuned on Mondays for the weekly book challenge, and then on Wednesdays for your Deep and Dive podcast episode. So again, thank you. Please, if you love this episode, share with family and friends. Please rate wherever you get your podcast, on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever your podcast. And I'll follow at Tanisha'sReadingCorner.com, which is the website, and also on Instagram at Tanisha's Reading Corner. And wishing you all good wellness and good reading. Have a good day.